Hello guys, Spino here. So finally I am making my first video on Arknights. Mainly I'm going to be talking about my experience as a new player and going to show you my progress that I made in around 3 weeks. I might have missed some days because of the storm and stuff, but I did log in and at least spend my sanity. Most of the stuff I did do on live, so yeah. I gonna be honest, I have been playing this game and I have been enjoying it genuinely, and gotta be honest, a gacha game with tower defense using waifus and husbandos is kind of pretty cool, and I'm pretty happy that I actually give this game a try because, like I said, I have been enjoying it. And yeah, let's talk about the things that I'm a fan of and the things I'm not the biggest fan of. First things first, the story has a skip button. W. I like stories that have skip buttons. Now, it is unfortunate the story isn't voiced. I was a little bit sad because I thought if they voiced the story, I think there's a lot of great potential. People will actually go through the story slowly. I did skip most of them because I didn't care, because I prefer to have voiceovers. But because there's skip function, so it was pretty easy. I just skipped and straight went into combat. And talking about combat, it is a tower defense game, so you just need to defend your base, and voila, you're good. It is a little bit hard because you do actually have to use your brain cells, otherwise you are cooked. The good thing, even if you are under-leveled, as long as you play perfectly or play almost perfectly, you could clear most of the content. I learned that, and there's a lot of mechanisms goes around, so you actually have to read some parts, otherwise you will get wrecked. Especially on the events, like this new event has a pretty cool mechanisms with some music stuff. I think it's pretty cool, but again, it's not that easy. But as long as you know what you're doing, I think you could clear most of the game modes. Not end game modes. I think you still need some practice, but you can clear it. And I was lucky enough to have some really good viewers helping me when I was streaming. So I was pretty lucky in that regards because I was not reading a thing. But I was lucky. Now talking about characters, this is my current roster. This is the roster I'm using right now. I do swap a lava out for other units like Melantha, Gladia, and Spectre accordingly to the situations. But this is the main roster that I use to clear most of my stories and some of the events that I was part of. So this is technically my main team that I've been working on, and I was pretty lucky enough to get some 6 stars. And talking about 6 stars, you do get a 6-star, I think standard 6-star selector at 7 days, so you could get a 6-star standard character for free. Just need to log in. You also get a 5-star selector for free, I think on the first day or 4th day. I don't remember, I forgot. And you also get a promotion card, I think, that you can use it to almost max level the 5-star character. Pretty cool that you get for free. And when it comes to summons, you also get a 6-star here on your first 10 pull, plus the 10 pull is discounted. So again, a really good function in my opinion. Unfortunately, there is no limited banners anymore. The limited banner unfortunately ended. And luckily, I was able to get a Lapland altar from the limited banner. So again, I was pretty lucky. I'm gonna be honest, super happy. And now, this function, the base building, I think this is the first gacha game anyway, that has this function. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of base building function, but it's kind of cool. You get a lot of free resources for free just by upgrading your base. I think it's kind of cool, but I'm not the biggest fan. It's just something new that I never did, so it is what it is. I'm not the biggest fan, but at the same time, it's there. It's some free resources, and my base looks like this for now. I think it's pretty decent. I didn't work on my base for the first week, I think, but then I slowly started to work on it, and it looks like this now. So hey, it's something. Now, I think the best part about this game has to be, hands down, the music, the background music. It's not even a competition. The BGMI for this game, especially for the background, for the boss fights, it's so good. I hope Arknight Enfield also has these kind of music themes because it's unbelievable. Like no other gacha has BGMI like Arknight, and I have to admit that it's just on another level. And the crazy part is I barely did some of the stories, and those stories had some of the best background music. And the current event, oh my god, the song behind this event is something else. I have to say, the background music top tier, not even close. Character designs have some incredible good character designs. There are some plain ones, but there are some incredible character designs. But the BGMI, top tier. And I have to say, it's unbelievable. And I played a lot of gacha games, maybe not, regularly, but I have played a lot of gacha games that have really good BGMIs, especially Wuthering Waves. When it comes to their boss fights, Wuthering Waves has some incredible, BGMI songs too. But this game is on another level. Come to the songs and, the background songs, especially for the bosses, it's just on another level. And now the thing I'm not the big. Oh, also I forgot. There's no level cap, so no, you don't need to worry about your level to what is it called? Like your base level is not capped, so you can level up your character to max level even if you are just a level 30 idiot like me. Even I can get a max level character if I just grind enough. I think that's a cool thing because other gacha games you are kind of get capped at a level, right? So you need to increase your normal account level to increase your character level or to ascend your character. So not having a level cap on that is kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool, but it does come in a cost of having absurdly high promotion stuff, at least for 6 stars anyway. I think for 6 stars and 5 stars, promoting them to E2, Elite 2 is like pretty hard unless you put your time and grind the resources. I think for 4 stars it's like reasonable in my opinion. It's okay, but getting 6 stars and 5 stars to E2 is like pretty hard. But if you grind enough, you could get it. I think you just need to grind. What is it? The game called? I think it's called IS mode. If you grind that enough, you could get them high. But unfortunately, I am kind of busy, so I cannot grind IS mode a lot. But I will try to do some. I did do 2. I think one time. I did one time on live, and it went pretty well until I got clapped on the last round. It was kind of sad, but I was able to get some resource. So you could get resource. You could farm infinitely. It's just it does take your time. And now talking about resources, you don't get that much resources from doing the ordinary storylines. The events are a different thing. Like in the events, you get a lot of rewards, right? If you do the events, if you redo them, you get a nice amount of credits and stuff from the shop and stuff. But outside that, if you go and try to do story mode and you expect to get a lot of level up material, LMD and stuff, it's not true. It's kind of low. If I try to compare it to another gacha game that I play, like Honga Star Rail, if I'm a new player and if I do all the stories, like I should be able to do it in 3 days because it's Honga Star Rail. It's pretty easy. Except the weekly bosses, everything in Honga Star Rail is pretty easy, doable in my opinion. You could probably get enough resources from just doing the story to level up at least 2 characters to max. But you are kind of capped in that, so you probably need to wait at least 1 week, 1.5 weeks probably of grinding to get 2 characters to max level. But if you just play the game normally, like you can easily get 2 or 3 characters to max without even doing the resource domains. I think that's like a cool thing about Honga Star Rail. When it comes to Arknight, it's not true. You have to do other events or you have to separately farm a endgame mode like IS mode or something like that to actually progress your units. It's a little bit sad, but at the same time, if you put in the effort, I think you can do it. So yeah, but I'm not the biggest fan of the resource. You don't get that much resource, and the characters take a lot of resource to level up. It's kind of sad. I think that's the one thing I'm not the biggest fan of. I think it's because I got spoiled from Honga Star Rail on that thing. Because I get so much resource, I'm so rich in that game, and I come to Arknight, I'm like freaking poor. It's probably because of that. But otherwise, combat, cool. Tower defense, really nice. You actually have to use your brain to win things. I think it's really nice. And Even if you're underleveled, able to beat some of the harder stages, I think it's cool. And personally, I've been enjoying this. Will I say a new player should give this game a try? Yes, I will actually say yes. I think it's not a bad game. You actually have some decent chances to get some cool characters and play this game, and you do get a lot of help as a new player. It's not that bad. I think compared to other gacha games, it's not at all bad. You get a lot of characters. The only problem is the resources. You need to level up your base, and you need to do the events to get most of the resources so you can level up your character. Otherwise, you will be... I think when it comes to characters like 6 stars and stuff, you can get so many good 6 stars as a new player. If you get lucky like me, you can get some OP characters like Lapland Alter, and you can have a head start. It's just the resources. You need to spend a little bit of time farming these resources so you can promote them. But like I said, you don't need to have E2 characters to do the story mode. At least not the story mode. You can do most of the story modes even without E2 units. But if you get E2 units, I think the story does become a breeze. So it's probably because of that they made this ridiculously high, resource cap for the E2 promotion. I'm expecting that's the reason. Otherwise, there's no reason for them to make it so hard to get E2 characters. But yeah, not having level cap is also pretty cool. So you can level up your units early without increasing your base level. I think it's like kind of cool thing, your account level. I think it's nice touch. But I'm still sad the part where there's no voiceover in the story, and they could have at least made the resource a little bit more. And I also hate the auto battle because they should have added a sweep button. But they will add it, I think, eventually on the anniversary, the upcoming anniversary. I think they will add it. I think they did add it for CN version, so they should add it on the global version still, so it gets one problem gets solved. So, as a new player, I think the game has been pretty cool. Except the part where farming, but I think as a new player, you have to farm, you need to farm a little bit. If you don't farm and you still can't beat the game, then I think that's kind of stupid, so... But I just expect, to have a little bit more resource, I guess, as a new player. But it's fun. I don't think you'll be crying that you didn't got a new character. It's just the resources. It just sucks. But outside that, I think it's a pretty cool game. And I was lucky, like I said, able to get some pretty good units. And talking about the units, I should also talk about the community. I think Arknights probably has one of the better communities. Because they actually do think, at least most of them that came to my stream were pretty chilled and pretty nice. So thumbs up, W community, I guess. Like I said, it's mainly from my stream. I don't look into other social medias like Reddit and Twitter, so I only have experience from my streams. There were people, that were mad with the plays I was making, but there were some really smart people also, that would also help me clear some of the stages. So yeah, thanks you all. And yeah, that's all for today actually. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, it's just a small video that I made, talking about my experience with this game. And I just wanted to show you my progress that I made in 3 weeks while just streaming mostly. And yeah. And I'm kind of sad that I was not able to stream because it's raining, there's no power, so I can't do much. I don't know when I'm going to post this video, but I will eventually post it, okay? Eventually, I shall post it. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and see you guys tomorrow. Bye.